This video is intended to talk about the different symbols and notation used in geometry, especially those that we're going to use in the congruent triangles chapter. So say I have a triangle. I'm going to call this triangle ABC. And I want to tell you that angle A is congruent to angle B. Well, I can write that over here using this type of symbolism. Angle A is congruent to angle B. Or I can put marks on the diagram to indicate that congruence. And one of the most typical marks that people use are these little kind of half arcs down here, quarter arcs in angles A and B to show that they are a match and they are in fact congruent. Now our book also uses an additional mark in these angles, and they will put maybe a tick mark in here as well to show that those angles are congruent. But what if I have two pair of angles in a picture that are congruent? So maybe I have a trapezoid, DEFG, and I want to indicate that angle D is congruent to angle E, but I also want to say that angles G and F are congruent as well. Well, I can use a single tick mark maybe in the smaller angles, D and E, and then a double tick mark in the larger angles, G and F, to show that they are a match. These type of marks can also be used in parallelograms. So say I have a parallelogram HIJK, and I want to tell you that the segments KJ and HI are congruent to each other. But I also want to tell you that segment KH is congruent to JI. So I'll put a single tick mark there to indicate that those two segments are congruent. And finally, with parallelism, there's a way to indicate that two segments are parallel on the diagram as well. We don't use tick marks this time, we use little arrows. So if I want to tell you that segment KJ is parallel to HI, I'm going to put a double set of little arrows here like this, indicating that those two segments are parallel. I also want to tell you that KH and JI are parallel, so maybe I'll use a single set of arrows on here, indicating that those two segments are parallel. Now, some books have arrows drawn as I've drawn them here. Some actually take the time to fill in the rest of the arrow, so it looks a little more like maybe an arrow does. But in any case, those are some of the symbolisms and notations that are used in our congruent triangles chapter.